It's new equipment day. Let's unbox the Blackstone 28-inch XL Griddle. Instructions. Nice heavy duty cover. Got the lid, shelf, all kinds of knobs and screws, a shelf for each side, and here we go, the plancha. Heavy duty, man. Gonna lift the legs up. Got these hard rubber casters. They're going to install with this facing in, so the opening facing out. Going to take these thumb screws, screw them directly in. Next up, we're going to take our shelf, set it in place here. Going to take this bracket, still installing it upside down. So there are two thumb screws. This is a medium thumb screw. It's slightly shorter. This is longer. It goes in here. And by doing this, you make sure everything's stable. And now we're going to flip this over. You can always get someone to help you do this if you want. Next up, you got this piece here. It's going to sit right here. Pin's going to slide through. And then you're going to take this pin and slide it right through the opening. And locks it in place. Next up, you got your three knobs. Got a nice rubber grip on the sides of these. We're going to snap these on with the orange pointed up. Next up, taking our handle, we'll put a screw in, get it started. Going to attach this paper towel holder. You can attach it this way or this way. I think I'm going this way with it. So you need a screw and a washer. Next, on the opposite side, you're going to take these two brackets here. We have an R and an L for right and left. And you repeat the same steps on the other side. Next up, you got four openings in the ends of the shelf. You're going to take these screws here and screw them right in. Next up, you got two screws that are going to hook the shelf onto the griddle. You screw them in, and it should slip right in and hang, just like that. Then just repeat the same steps on the other side. Then you're going to take your grease trap, and it hooks right in this slot on the back of the griddle. So next is the plancha installation. You will notice there is a groove here. So there are pins on each side. These slip in, and then you push it back, and then it'll lock in to the hole back here. So I will warn you, this griddle's kind of heavy. You may want to have somebody help you do this. And also be sure not to mash your fingers. So slide it into the grooves up front. It's going to pull back and lock into place. And there we go, all set. We're almost done. We got to install these on the lid. You've got these small screws. You want to install the hooks on the inside, the under part of the lid. You're going to take this and it's going to screw in. Just do it this way to get it started. All right. Then just repeat with the other screw. And tighten it down. And if I've done this right, it'll sit there when it's not in use. And then when it is in use, if you choose to do this, you can take it and it will hang off the back. Just like that. Now, I will recommend, once this thing gets ripping hot, you may not want to put this right here because it'll be tough to grab if you do need to move it. I would probably just not have it on the griddle while you're using it. Now it's time to clean the griddle and season it. Next up, you want to get yourself a bowl with some warm water, not scalding hot. Get yourself a clean sponge. You can put just a tiny bit of dish soap in here. I usually use Dawn. The griddle top comes sticky out of the packaging, so it's probably best to give it a good wipe down before you start seasoning it. Who knows what's on this? You definitely don't want to lock it in and be cooking on it. This is what I do with all my brand new cast iron skillets whenever I get them. A little bit of dish soap and some water on the cast iron is not going to hurt it. Just, you don't want to submerge this in water and leave it sitting. It will rust. Next up, you're going to hook this up to the propane tank. You're going to open the propane tank up. This is your igniter. It has a AA battery in it. Just screws on. So we are going to turn this and it should ignite. There we go. And we'll do it again. And a third time. All right, all three going. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. You're going to want this metal to warm up. It needs to dry that water off of it. And then we're going to season this. One thing I use when I'm seasoning my cast iron is a paste. This is called Buzzy Wax. I'm not sponsored by these folks. This is just something I use on my cast iron. You could use this. It comes off on a rag. It looks like a paste. That's how it looks like. And you would season this. But with it being an initial seasoning, I typically start with a neutral flavored oil with a higher smoke point. So I'm going to go with grapeseed oil to season this thing. This has a smoke point of roughly about 400, 410 degrees. And just for fun, this has been going for a minute. I got my infrared thermometer. So let's see what we're doing here. All right, we're sitting at right at 400 degrees here. That's 450. So let's see. This side definitely seems cooler. All right, so we're at 490 over here. We're at 470 here. And we are at 420 or so right there, 415, 420. Just my little PSA, if you do this, please be careful. Do not burn yourself. You can really hurt yourself. So, I'm just gonna go on here. Put this all over. Get yourself an old towel and some tongs and just start going to town. You want to season the sides and the back. Everything that might come in contact with the food. The purpose of seasoning this is essentially you're kind of making it non-stick. The more you use it, the more you season it after you cook. I typically re-season my pans about every second use or so. And what you're doing is building up a nice layer where it makes this essentially a non-stick surface. We're going to let this go for a minute. Once it stops smoking, then we'll probably do 1 or 2 more applications of the oil. And then I think maybe we'll cook some burgers. I do know that Blackstone makes a seasoning paste, so that might be an option you want to try out. These are just some cheap burgers, frozen burgers from the grocery store. Nothing special. Gonna hit it with a little bit of grapeseed oil, a little bit of salt, and some pepper. Put a little oil down, threw the burgers on. Here we go, the initial cook. Right now, I'm just using these 2 burners. I'm leaving this off. That way I can have a cooler zone. So if things get too out of hand over here, I can always move stuff over here. While I'm waiting for these burgers to finish up, I'm gonna toast up these buns. One key piece of equipment that I find I love with my cast iron is chainmail. I found this at Costco. It is a grill scraper that comes with chainmail, so I figured it was an ideal thing to have for this. You don't want to leave all this stuff burnt on here, so you definitely want to come through and scrape it up after each cook. Right into the grease trough. Make sure to wipe it down. And don't worry, I do have this off at the moment. I'm not putting my hands near screaming hot metal. Make sure to take care of your equipment, and it's going to take care of you. Here we go. Yep, that's a good burger. Thanks for hanging out, checking out this new piece of my barbecue arsenal. I'm not sure how many more things I can add to the barbecue arsenal before the wife starts to say something. But this griddle is something I have been wanting for quite a while, and I'm glad I was finally able to get it. It's going to see a lot of use, and I'll put it to use on the channel from time to time. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, consider giving me a like, a subscribe, or drop me a comment. I would greatly appreciate it. Every time you do that, it helps to push me out to just a few more people, so help me to continue to spread the word. And with that, get up, go out, cook some good food, be a little bit better tomorrow than you were today, and I'll catch you next time.